Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today on this Monday. Fanboys, as long as you are followers of LeBron James, I know that your day can't be going that great. So you see the title of the video. Before we get into it, let's check out this clip from the deer.
LeBron, you launched a podcast this week. What sparked the idea, and why was JJ the right guy to partner with?
What sparked the idea? I feel like we was losing the essence of the game of basketball and the true meaning behind the game of basketball, and teaching our youth and teaching the people what the game of basketball really, what it truly means. I think I was getting very frustrated with the daily comparisons every single day. Who's better between you and Dave McMenamin, or how does this affect your legacy, or if this guy played in the 50s, would he be this, or if this guy in the 50s played in the 2000s, it's not good for the youth. Obviously you want to hear that, you go to the barbershops, but you're hearing it every day on national television, and I feel like our audience needed a different approach and understand what really the true essence of the game, how I fell in love with the game. And when you have someone like JJ who has kind of the same mindset about the game of basketball, very smart, fell in love with the game for all the right reasons, and this is something I've been thinking about for quite a while. JJ was it was perfect timing.
All right, so as you heard, the reporter asked LeBron James what made him decide to do the podcast, and why did he decide to do it with JJ Redick. And LeBron James starts to say things that makes me realize this guy doesn't have a clue about the essence of basketball. Not anymore. He may have at one point. I'm sure he did, during his high school years. But he has definitely lost touch with reality. So he proceeds to talk about how he think basketball is losing the essence and the true meaning, and that they wanted to teach They wanted to teach people about basketball and what it truly means. I mean, first of all, who do you think you're teaching about basketball and what it truly means? Because apparently you forgot what it truly means, which at the heart of any sport, it is competition. Period. That's what basketball is. It is competition. Football is competition. Tennis is competition. Racing, whatever sport golf, whatever you want to name, it is about the competition. So let's break down some of this stuff he was saying. He said he got frustrated with the comparisons and with people talking about how it's going to affect his legacy and this and that. And basically saying that's for the barbershop and that's not good for kids. Well, first of all, let me explain something to you, LeBron James. The fans who compare players, who talk about legacy, it is because the fans are also competitive. This is why they are fans, because they are invested into the player who maybe it's because the team is in their city. Maybe they're just, fans of the team in their city and they get behind that. If their city doesn't have a team, then they get behind their favorite player. But at the end of the day, the fans are invested because of the competition. I mean, what do you think this is? A screenplay or a movie, and we're just supposed to observe and be like, oh, wow, look at these guys. they are so good at what they do, and we're not going to critique anybody because everybody is fantastic. What do you think this is? The players are supposed to be competitive, and the fans are an extension of that. So the fans are competitive. We want to see our team win. We want to see our favorite players win. We want to know that the things that we identify with in a player, or the things that we observe in a player, that we can make a decision about and say, this player is better because of X, Y, and Z, and we can see this with our own eyes. We can make our own judgments about this. So, no, we don't need LeBron James to teach anybody what the essence of basketball is, because what it really sounds like is LeBron James is just tired of people criticizing him. And again, he says he's frustrated with player comparisons and people talking about how it's going to affect his legacy. This is coming from the guy who said, that one right there made me the GOAT. That one right there made you the greatest of all time. Really? That's the person who's sick of the comparisons. The person who let come out of his mouth for the public to hear that he thought he was the greatest of all time. And he said this on multiple occasions. The guy who likes to king himself as frequently as possible for the world to see. This is the guy that's tired of the comparisons, that's tired of people talking about his legacy, and that wants to teach people the essence of basketball. And he says it's bad for the kids. No, see, this is why we have to do this. Because what LeBron James wants to teach kids is that you shouldn't be criticized. LeBron James wants to teach kids that you should be able to do whatever you want with no criticism. You should be able to join super teams to win your championships with no criticism. You should be able to call yourself the GOAT and people just say, he's not bragging, he's just confident. And you want no criticism for that. You should be able to, again, do the king gesture on yourself for the world to see and not have any criticism. You should be able to flop on the court for the world to see and then get in a press conference and say, I don't flop and I don't know what flopping is. Are you crazy? I mean, fanboys, this is your king. I mean, look, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Fanboys, and I'm talking about the fanboys. I'm talking about the ones who get on here and they're truly emotional, about you criticizing LeBron James. They want to say, oh, well, you'll never have as much money as LeBron James. They want to say, well, he has 4 championships and 40,000 points. They want to say, oh, well, the only time you get views is when you do LeBron videos, which that's, hey, you fanboys who get into content creative counting the number of LeBron videos. Let me go ahead and assure you that I do plenty of LeBron videos, and this is the reason. Because LeBron James and his team of media is constantly pumping out some BS narratives. Now, your king just said that he is tired of the comparisons and tired of people talking about his legacy. Well, how are you going to avoid that when you do stuff like, say, that one right there made me the GOAT? And so, fanboys, let me say this to every one of you who get in my comments frequently trying to defend this guy. You guys have as low character as he does. Again, to flop for the world to see. I really wonder what would happen if during one of these press conferences, and the interview asked LeBron James about flopping. He goes, yeah, I don't know what that is. Well, I've never flopped. What if they pulled out their phone and played one of his flopping compilations for him? I wonder what would be his response, because I'm almost certain that he would sit there and lie with the video evidence in front of his face. I mean, he knows he does it. So, fanboys, yes, this is why I say, for you to support this guy to the degree that you do, that shows what your character is. Like, he flopped for the world to see, and yet he will deny it in your face. And and pretty much last but not least, he goes on to, he wants to teach people about the essence of the game of basketball. And again, like I said, but you lost that a long time ago. Like you want no consequences for your actions. You want no criticism for your actions. You made those comparisons. You wore number 23. You did everything to try to copy Michael Jordan, again, except play like him, because you couldn't accept that responsibility. You would have to take accountability and responsibility to actually work on your game. Again, everyone who follows LeBron James, who listens to the people who talk about LeBron James, whether that's other players, whether that's people from the media, whether that's coaches, again, what do we hear about LeBron James constantly? We hear about how much he takes care of his body. Yeah, that's great, but how about you take care of your game? How about you would have to take responsibility if you were going to be actually be Jordan-like. You would have to take responsibility to actually make sure your game was better and better each year. This is what LeBron James hasn't done. How do we know he hasn't done it? For two reasons. Because we can see it with our own eyes, and because this is not what's talked about LeBron James. Every great player in the NBA, in the history of the NBA, the thing that they are known for is the thing that they get talked about. Whether it's Bill Russell in his defense, the fact that he led the team with defense, whether it's Larry Bird and him being a great shooter and a fierce competitor in fundamentals, whether it's Magic Johnson and in the fast break Lakers and him truly being a floor general out there. Whether it's Michael Jordan and his acrobatics in the air and his competitive spirit, and the fact that everyone who talks about Michael Jordan talks about how he got better and better to overcome the obstacles each year. Whether it's Tim Duncan, the big fundamentals, which shout out to everyone who tuned into the live stream yesterday. We had a great time. Shout out to Dart and Michael Jordan fans are the best for putting it together. Shout out to Angry Old Hoops. Shout out to Sports and Fitness Rants. Shout out to Hoop God 23. And shout out to Phenomenal Fitness who called in. But the superstars, the way people talk about you is what you are known for. And again, LeBron James does not get talked about like, oh man, this guy's constantly working on his game, constantly overcoming obstacles. The Spurs beat him in 2007, but he didn't leave Cleveland. He stuck it out. He got better and better, and he found a way to carry his team to the championship. That's not what we hear. We hear about LeBron James switching teams, trying to get coaches fired, teammates traded, and we hear about LeBron James keeping his body in shape, spending $1 million a year, which we know where that $1 million a year is going to. This whole thing is just ridiculous. Like I said, LeBron talking about teaching people the essence of the game of basketball. Nah, the fans know the essence of the game of basketball. LeBron James, you need to remember that you have a job because of us, because of the fans, because of the ones who actually fell in love with watching the game. And again, who came up during the Michael Jordan era where Michael Jordan made everyone want to play basketball. These are the fans that made it popular enough that all of you guys are making the kind of money that you can make, and now you want to talk about teaching fans the true essence of the game of basketball. Man, please. But anyway, we're gonna hold up here. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think LeBron James is on to something? Do you think fans talk too much about legacy and comparisons? You know, never mind the fact that LeBron James called himself the GOAT. You know, just skip over that. Or do you think LeBron James is totally ridiculous? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.